Hey, Lynn, Bernstein Share, is this the last one? That's the final? So they were billing us monthly after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's call the meeting to order, please. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you. All right. We will be deviating from the printed agenda this evening. So first off is to make a motion to approve the Selectmen's Workshop meeting minutes from September 24th.
Second.
All in favor? Where are
Danny, did you approve those minutes, the workshop minutes?
Yes, he raised.
Okay,
Yeah.
I looked up and I didn't see these.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't see the
minutes for tonight.
minutes from last.
Thank you.
You want my copy?
Oh, I need a copy. We need to sign.
So- Yeah, the original.
So we have two sets of minutes for the September 24th Selectmen's meeting. I believe you wanted to make an amendment. Series.
Second page.
Second page. Affordable housing.
Right, this one. Next to that.
This one. Oh, yeah. So there's previous. Okay, so you wanted to make the change on page 2.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, paragraph 7.
Yeah.
You wanted to make the change, and what is the change?
Change is just to insert my reply. What I did in my reply. You probably have it.
Well, we got two sets of minutes.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Right, so you're gonna want to take what out of what?
No, I just want to insert that in. That's all.
So we just want to take these. The second set.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so these, and this is paid. That. All right, so we have motion on the table to accept the amended minutes. Well, dated September 24th.
Yep.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Okay. Payroll payables are Sign, digital mapping. We have. The quote on that is 24,000 to have all of the digital mapping incorporated for the town of Brownfield.
Yeah.
Yes, yep. Yeah, 16.5. Digitizing them. Upon completion, the annual tax map maintenance services be 2,600 a year. And then 3,000 for the annual hosting from one-time setup at 3,000 annual hosting fee of 3,000. So we can do 26, 16, 5. $16,500 plus 2,600 plus 3,000. 22 grand.
Very fast.
Right. The conversion annual tax map maintenance service will be performed for a fee of 2,600 a year once the maps have been digitized for the 16.5. And then there's a $3,000 one-time setup for Access GIS, and then $3,000 a year for the hosting fee. So if we do the 16.5 and the 3,000.
So.
It's been 19.5.
Annual. Factoring line adjustments, we said that in fees, there are road changes. Right. And then when it says posting fees, putting that data all up on the internet, so it's accessible to anybody on the planet.
Right. So we're looking at 5,600 a year.
Yeah.
Essentially, maintenance, everything, updates.
That's your
the whole
long term thing.
Right. What do you think?
No. I'm concerned more about the annual maintenance, is 56, 7,
5,600, yeah.
yeah.
If I can just volunteer right now, we have paper map
Yeah,
and there is an annual maintenance for that, but it's not nearly as much in here. It's 2,600. Yeah, so.
so it'd be an additional
It's an
3,
incremental increase, but what we get for that is annually, we get a set of PDFs.
so it'll,
But that's what we get for that kind of money.
so it'll be a $3,000 increase from what we're doing now.
Building photographs, we all like it.
Commitment. This is.
It's only a $3,000 increase, yeah. Oh, something like that, yeah.
Not that it's not.
Oh, yeah, it adds up.
Terry.
For you, if this flies, the maps and all the shit still be available.
Yes, they will send a large copy of the maps every year. So that comes with that, within that annual fee, is they send those big maps every year.
Joe?
Do we have any other prices to compare it to? And what other towns use this service?
From my understanding, a lot of the towns are using this specific one.
There are many other
What's
bids
this?
that do provide this kind of service. The town of Denmark uses this. The town of Border is using this. Freiburg used it. And if you shop around, the prices are going to be pretty similar. This kind of service is reasonably competitive. So if you go out to other outfits, it's going to be about like we thought we'd go with somebody who's familiar with the area. That's why we reached out to them. They're based in Littleton, New Hampshire, right?
to benefit realtors and other, the people that send you letters saying. I mean, how much do the townspeople actually go online and pick up? Or how weird. You do.
I use them a lot, you know, looking for an animal, address for animal. I can put the person's name in, it'll tell me exactly where they're at. Or I love it because I can put the address in, I'll put the person's name in, and I can find exactly where they're at.
And it's not just for real estate brokers, the planning board would also be able to use it to find a butters, be able to send a butter notice to that.
Helpful with code enforcement violations too. Because one of the things you can do is not only do you see the tax maps, you'll see the tax property lines superimposed over aerial photographs. So you'll be able to see what's on, it's like looking at Google Earth or Google Maps, only with property lines. There's a downside for people doing the assessing work, is that is when this first goes online, we get a lot of phone calls. People saying, hey, that lot line is wrong. And people come in with information and we fix it. So it's, you know, short term, it has more work, long term, it's helpful.
Yeah. What was that?
Make a motion, we accept it.
You making the motion?
Pardon?
Are you making the motion?
Yep,
For what amount?
for the amount that's listed. Yeah. All the amounts that's listed. What's that?
19.5.
19.5.
Okay. All right, I'll second.
Plus the annual maintenance, yeah.
So I'll second your motion. It'll be 19.5. This will come out of capital improvement for property and buildings. So we had down 25. What do we have down there?
24.
Saving money already. All right, good. All in favor?
Can I just have one minor follow up?
Yeah.
I would encourage taxpayers, it's gonna take a while for this to happen, you know, 6 months to a year maybe. But once it is live, we encourage people to go on there, and if you see something that's wrong, please, you know, take a screenshot and let us know. We want to get the maps right just as much as everybody else.
What about? And it'll help with assessments.
Yes, the more you guys look at stuff and see if your acreage is wrong, or you start looking at your own property card that posted on there, it certainly tell us if we're have something on there that you shouldn't be assessed for, or that we might even be missing.
Is there one of the other towns that we could access to see how it looks like? Yeah. So we just get on their town website and then, yeah, that'll show us. Thank you.
Could we make any changes now? Like, are you gonna go by these tax maps?
So what they do is they take the tax maps that we have done for 2024 and they will digitize them and put it into their system, and then from there we'll send them the changes for 2025, and then that's what they'll do, is it'll be essentially the 2025 tax year that this will be truly up and running.
Because with my property, I know that what shows on the map on here is not correct.
One thing you do have to say about mapping in general, whether it's paper maps or digital maps or anything, is maps are actually a quilt of polygons. You know, everybody's got their own parcel, right? And they've all got to be sewn into one diagram that represents all 1,800 patches of lawn. And sometimes you can get surveys in where they don't agree. And yet we're supposed to make the lines all match up. So sometimes they're not exactly right, but we do want to try to get them close to correct as possible.
I'd like to show you something on the map, explain to you.
Please do.
What's going on. All right.
No.
Good. Planning board member opening appointment. We have been made aware that there's been a resignation from the planning board. Have 60 days to appoint a planning board member. So if anybody knows of anybody that would like to be on the planning board, please We'll take their name, get them appointed as soon as possible.
Can you tell me what the requirements time wise and meetings?
What do you
As
mean?
far as the time commitment for someone in that position?
Well, they would fit as an appointment, they would fill until the next election period,
So you need weekly, is it?
monthly with workshops. And Joe's on the planning board, so he could definitely answer that question with more detail.
It's, one evening a month. Sometimes that varies, usually it's the first Tuesday of the month, and then we decide on the workshops that we'll for. So it might be one or two, be one time, great, sure time it is.
Here,
So if anybody knows, we need one person. All right. We have a municipal of Brownfield, Maine policy on treasurer's disbursement warrants for employees, wages and benefits. This policy allows designated municipal officials, selectmen acting on behalf of the full board of municipal officers to review, approve and sign municipal treasurer's disbursement warrants for wages and benefits only. This policy is in addition to, not in lieu of, majority power. Nothing in this policy is intended to replace the authority of the full board of municipal officers acting by majority vote to act on any treasurer's warrant, including warrants for wages and benefits. Delegation authority pursuant to 30 AMRSA 56032A1. The following authority is granted with respect to the treasurer's disbursement warrant for municipal employee wages and benefits only. Current municipal officials, municipal officers in office at the time of execution of this policy are Ricky Emery, Chairman, Frank Day, and Vincent Lanavera. Any one of the municipal officers named above and acting alone may review, approve, and sign such warrants. Effective date, this policy becomes effective on the date indicated below, which is dated today, October 8th, 2024. A copy of this policy shall be provided to the administrative assistant, municipal clerk, municipal treasurer. If the clerk and treasurer are the same person, a copy shall nonetheless be provided to that person in each capacity. Lapse. This policy lapses 1 year after its effective date, if not sooner amended or canceled. Renewal. This policy may be renewed at any time before its lapse. Therefore, it may be readopted at any time. Any renewal is valid for 1 year from its effective date unless a sooner date of expiration is specified. Reminder, if the municipal treasurer is an appointed official, the treasurer shall remind the municipal officers to consider renewing this policy before it lapses. If the treasurer is an elected official, the treasurer is requested to provide such an annual reminder. The original. The administrative assistant will maintain the original of this policy on file unless the municipal clerk is an appointed official, in which case the clerk shall maintain it on file. Signed and dated today, the Board of Selectmen, individually.
Can you explain that?
It's so that we have the authority to sign payroll and benefit warrants. So that should be complete. All right. Department heads. Tax collector treasurer.
Taxes went out last week. I think everyone received their bills probably like Wednesday or Thursday. And people have been coming to see the assessors and getting things squared away. The auditors were here today, yesterday and today all day. And things are moving along. Yesterday alone, people are running in paying their tax bills. We took in 100,000 yesterday, just in tax revenues, which I was quite surprised. The town, Beth went to a training last week in Augusta for 2 days. It was a convention. And so she learned a lot of stuff. And then Beth and Michelle did some trainings today for motor vehicle. And I think that's all. that's all that's going, oh, and we moved our office around, if nobody has seen it yet, you can come and check it out.
Trio update.
Oh, the trio, yeah. We are having problems with our trio system. The current system we have right now is, it's called Trio Sequel. And we're losing compatibility, it's losing functionality. And we're at this point right now where we're gonna have to upgrade to Trio Web because we have no other choice. Don't worry, Bob, it takes about 4 to 5 months, they said. We have to get on a list and then they have to train us. But so we do have to upgrade our software. At this point, we're at a point where it's no good. It's gonna cost us about $6,000 to do this, and like I said, it's probably gonna take about 4 or 5 months, and we don't have to pay the 6,000 upfront right away. But it is a necessity that we can't overlook.
I will make a motion that we get the trio update as soon as possible.
Get on the list. Okay, thank you.
Second. Any discussion?
We got a question.
Any myself?
So if it's an online system,
Uh-huh.
will the internet that's here in this building support being able to get online consistently?
That's a good question. But we really,
So we've used Trio Web in some of our other towns, Cornish specific, just transferred over to Trio Web. They can access that. We, as the assessors, can access it on our own laptops through Trio Web because they host it at the facility, Harris's facility. They don't host it here in the office like is currently done with SQL. So
I guess my question is more that if it's in the cloud, if all the data is in the cloud and you're trying to access it, does the internet that is supplied to this building, I know at my house, if I'm trying to work using the Fairpoint or whatever it is now, consolidated internet, it's not that great. How's your signal here? Is it consistent? And when you're trying to work and get information, will that be available to you more likely or less likely?
it'll probably be the same. I mean, like everyone in Brownfield, the internet's not that great, but the internet's not that great on the system we have right now either. So I don't think it's gonna really affect it as far as that's concerned, because it's,
I guess the problem that we're gonna run into is they're changing it over to web-based. So we're not gonna get any more updates to the current stuff that we have. So we're kind of backed in a corner. If we. I have not. No, only because wish Mr. Walker was here, because Spectrum is supposed to be coming in first quarter to run wires. So January, in that time frame, January through March, we should be looking at Spectrum coming down Main Street, which is supposed to be much better than what we have now with speeds. So
I did talk to our computer people about Starlink to see if that would be an avenue that we should pursue, and he did not recommend it. He said with Starlink, because it is satellites, your information is going up into the sky and then coming back down, so there's always a lag. So he didn't think it was really worth the investment to go that route. He said just hang tight and wait for the better internet to come through.
Joe.
I don't really know what the terminology is, but the public library is tied into a system which seems to be pretty terrific. So there must be a cable running up the road that they tie into. Are we as a town allowed to tie into that?
No, that's a special link from the library system through the state like that. That was put in specifically, there was money in the state for all the libraries like that to be, have that. Yeah, that address, we put it on the site. They do have a very high speed link.
Well, everybody hangs out down there for the wireless. Yeah.
That's a fiber fed.
Oh. Nice.
I do have Starlink. Yeah, very consistent. speeds are really fast. It's rarely down. I never have a problem working in an internet intensive way from home. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I got Starlink too.
good, right?
Spot on.
Since taxes, were mentioned, I'd like to make a suggestion to the select board that they have a public hearing. To explain to anybody from the town who wants to come in, the whole reval and, you know, the taxes. Because I think right now people are thinking, oh, reval, you know, all the valuations went up. But, you know, like my taxes should stay the same, you know, and I think it would be helpful if, you know, we could have a meeting like that. Explain it there, or try something like that.
I think it's a good idea.
Sounds good to me.
When would you two be available? Okay.
Near future. Something good, look at our calendar, something.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Okay. Yeah, let us know.
Great.
Would that be at the community
As soon
center?
as soon as that happened, yes, it'd be at the
Community
community.
center, okay, cool.
Yes.
About the mill rate and how I think most people can understand why the property values have gone up because the market is getting insane. But that the mill rate dropped only 25%, but the property values have gone up 65%, sometimes more. So it's hard to connect the mill rate going down 25% and the property values going up 65% and the budget kind of staying about the same. So,
Yeah, they'll cover it.
great.
Don't be so mad.
Yeah.
Well, that's still well, that's my question. The town was run last year on a budget of 2 million. This year, tax bills add up to 3.9 million, which is an increase of $700,000. And I guess my question is, if they time last year was 700,000 left, doing with that 700,000, basically, and how much money is in the town account to begin with? Does anyone still?
Well, the town account, I'll answer that. We don't have the audits because we're 3 years behind right now. So to ask, we can't answer that question with any type of validity that I would be comfortable saying, yes, we have, upwards of like 2.2 million. We don't know that number. There's a lot of journal entries that are going to happen with these current audits to bring us up to where we're going to have a pretty precise number.
But increases, was in this town. Plan for that money. I mean, we weren't in default, we weren't running behind. But we still had money in the bank. When you increase,
I guess,
revenue coming in, $700,000, what is the plan for that money?
well, the question I have with that, and I'm not an accountant, so bear with me. I'm pretty stupid. Our mill rate was 1787, and we dropped it to 1335. So I guess where my confusion would come in is how we're making an extra 700,000 because of the. That's why I'm asking the question, right? So there's 700,000 additional, but our mill rate dropped over $4. So how are we generating an extra 700,000 over the top?
General spending, what you guys voted on at town meeting. In addition to that, school spending also increased, and so didn't the county tax also increased. I have a paper that has that on my computer if you wanted me to pull that up. That overall spending, I think, wound up being close to 12%, 11%, something around there. Again, if you wanted, I can pull it up. But that spending, so your valuation goes up of the town, which is what we did, right? Your mill rate is expected to drop. However, when your spending is not equal to what you guys were spending last year, it does not drop as far. So it stays up higher. By state statute and court rules, we're required to value everything based on the real estate market. So that is how we have assessed the town. The assessed value is the portion that we handle. The billing part, the money that the town needs to pay the school, to pay the county, to pay that was voted for town meeting. That was all voted for by the residents.
Well, if you're taking in that much money this year, which is more than last year. And I assume in 2025. When those bills come out, they'll reflect the same numbers this did. I mean, the town is getting more money in than it's spending. You've got to do that, I understand, but there must be a limit as to, will the mill rate come down in another year?
Supplement. And remember about that big increase is in the prior year. You have to remember when the total amount of money to be raised is calculated. That's not all property taxes. I'm gonna just use some simple numbers. Let's just say all the spending is gonna be $5 million. What has to first happen is from that 5 million, you subtract fees, licenses, money from the state, and money that the town plunks in from its savings to reduce the amount of money that has to be raised from taxes. Okay, so if it's, I'm just, like I said, making up numbers because I don't have the exact ones here. Let's just say total amount of money to be spent is 5 million. After you take out other revenue, now it's 4 million. So that's the amount that goes to property taxes. Well, historically in this town, one of the big numbers that has been used to reduce the amount of money to be raised has been money that's been put out of savings to lower the taxes. Serendipitously, the last few years, it's been about $700,000. But the town meeting voted this year, put $0 to reduce the taxes. If the town meeting had voted to contribute from savings, that same amount as has been historically done, well, the amount to be raised from taxation would have been reduced by $700,000. I'm sorry, this is,
And we need to have some money put aside for the new safety bill.
yeah. Well, that's a different.
That was the argument at the time.
Sure. But what happens is that means, well, now you gotta raise more by property taxes.
But we're still gonna generate about $700,000 more in tax money this coming year than we did last year. And it just seems like a large increase for a town this size, that's all. I don't understand that nobody can tell me what's in the bank account because that is still being audited. So we don't have any idea where, does the town even know how much money it needs to operate? I mean, if they don't know what's in the bank.
Well, we got checks, we got money.
Um,
We got checks, we got money. We have rough numbers. It's not like we don't have any idea, in an inkling. But due to the fact that the books were so screwed up for so long, it's gonna take some time to get them straightened out and things put back into order. So asking for a number now is a moot point. And actually mine did. $100 a year. And my value went up. My value went up. But with the drop in the mill rate. Pull my tax bill. Pull my tax bill.
Mine's up.
Well, it should. You're living on the other side of the tracks, Billy boy, and you've got a job. Yeah.
Your agencies, know what's going on up there in East Providence.
You east side of the tracks.
And I've got some bad shit.
I'm gonna ask Bob a question. Yeah, how much would the 700,000 affected the mill rate? Do you know offhand if that went back into the? To
You know
the,
that number, I think we're bill rate. I think
it would drop, $11, so it would have been $2.
We may be able to do that now.
Yeah.
So the school. So. 26% increase, or 8,000, and then because you guys didn't use money to reduce taxes, that was the biggest part of that. Cause of increase in your budget.
You know, it's not that the town meeting didn't have good reason to do that, but there is a effect on the mill rate by making that choice.
Sorry.
As part of this public hearing, we also have some kind of explanation about how the mill rate and having that lowered will affect state support the school budget.
Sure.
It's a good question, because there is a number.
There's
Okay, so we have a motion on the table.
I just got one more question. Is it possible if someone pays their tax bill in full on the first term, they could get a discount? Does that happen anywhere, or? I mean, like a 1%?
Discount, what are you doing? Slow down.
Well, I mean, if they pay,
Who's to pay?
well, if you put all the money on the first payment, you got all that extra money in the bank, you don't have to wait till May. Right, yeah. Uh-huh,
On that money until the commitment date
uh-huh.
for.
A discount, okay, I'm not paying for. Uh-huh,
It's put in none of the assessor's business, but we generally advise towns against having a policy like that.
mhm.
Because it tends to favor people who've already got plenty of money. They're the ones that can come up with the dough to throw it on there early, whereas other people are barely scraping by. You know, they need every minute to be able to pull up the money to pay their tax.
But it
And
wouldn't
that's
take away
not
from,
people in East Brownfield either.
but it wouldn't take away from other people. No, if the people who paid in full, it wouldn't take away from the other people. There wouldn't be any monetary penalty on them.
In order to give that that percentage, that 3%.
Uh-huh.
To pay. So
But they wouldn't get the money early and put it in the bank and get the interest on that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see.
dilemma, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Prime bank. Be great.
No, I'm not saying a 3% discount, yeah, I was thinking of 1% or less.
I give more citizens.
That's because you're rich people. Okay, so we have a motion on the table for the trio update, $6,000. What are we doing?
Well, we already did it.
Ooh, tax questions came up.
You were 230.
Yeah. We started with the motion and then it was taxes.
Is it, I mean, is it,
Motion, you seconded it.
Yep, but then we started asking questions.
So we didn't vote on it.
We did not.
All right,
No.
so considering the Starlink, is that even a possibility? I mean, you
Well, the thing is that regardless of Starlink, they backed us in a corner. It's
Okay.
going web-based.
okay.
We're not gonna have the support in order to take care of our in-house.
Right,
training.
okay.
So we really, yeah, this is a formality.
So time for a
All
vote?
higher. Perfect. Trio is done. Trio. ACO. What you got?
Dog found on somebody's property, dog got large and it's raccoons in the dumpster at the transfer station, but I get it all set out.
Nice.
And thank you to Buddy for helping move the dumpsters with a loader. And that's about it.
There is a paper
in the
correspondence.
You know about the Maine dog licensing database implementation 2024?
Yes, the state's working on that, and we should be able to get into it. So you got
Right.
all the towns I work for have to agree with it.
We need to know who's our backup.
Who's your backup?
Me,
Who's your backup?
Nobody, state police, that's why I tell them, call the state police. But I'm not a criminal, call the state police. Because what animal welfare does, if you can't get a hold of it, the main agents, state police will get back on. So put down the state police. I'm sure they'll love me about right now, hearing me say that.
All right. After the meeting, come up, you can sign this, that's the form going to the state. So that's something that's there. Fire chief.
Let's see, get mutual aid to Center Conway, get 3 on wires, 5 medical. Get all the trucks inspected, thank you. Mike and I did the inspection up at Clean Green last Tuesday. Adams, to get that out of the way. I had Lakes fire apparatus up last Friday afternoon. I spent the afternoon repairing 2 of our trucks, engine 1, cat system. Decided to throw a spell and found out to be a switch. So they fixed that, and our second engine, the the phone system didn't work. They got to rebuild the pump. The truck's 15 years old. We said we've done well with it, so they got to rebuild the pump. And I've scheduled pump testing. Getting that scheduled. Our annual pump testing for the town labor and us.
You don't, didn't you do it up in Freiburg last year?
We host test in Freiburg, we lab test in Freiburg. We host test on our own Denmark, and they're joining us this year.
Okay.
We do our own. The other thing, the GIS mapping, there's been an email today that Oxford County is converting to that, and it's going into my Spillman starting tomorrow. I'll have GIS mapping in my computer really hard.
Perfect.
So they're doing the same thing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
With that, keep it on.
Oh, that's something mine. I am now into Spillman. Oxford County has allowed me.
Nice.
To drive over there. Yes.
They let the criminals in too, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. On that, it's made, I just found out here recently that you guys used to take a fire truck, the public works, and go blow out culverts.
Public. Bob was the public works.
Yeah.
He would take.
Okay. Well,
But yes, we would go out and do that if needed to be.
perfect. Public works, if you need public blowout, please get the fire chief, make arrangements. Hey, flood is coming.
Like it has it.
But you just gotta drive the truck. Wear a helmet.
Get Bob down. Actually, that's keep it up. Let that one do it. Here's get pump it up. I like size trucks.
Wet. Safety Building Committee.
Not a whole lot. Started compiling on the needs and wants list on things to talk about and figure out for the new building. And we started trying to figure out a preliminary site plan on where go and orientation on the property. That's all kind of ongoing and nothing's set in stone on any of it yet. That's kind of about it.
All right, I did have the discussion this afternoon on with the treasurer along the lines for the clerk of the works term for the town. We're gonna speak to the town's attorney next week. Look at drawing up job description and whatnot, and also for the pay coming from the grant and raised, whether it's our portion, the 950, or the grant, but we'll figure that out. We're gonna run everything through the town's attorney. So that discussion did happen. Health officer.
reminder. Tuesday, November the 19th, Safety Works. People will be here, offer a series of classes. Any and all departments from the town are asked to make as many people available as possible. It will put a pretty good dent into some of the sessions that are necessary. The sessions will last from the morning 9:30 right through to about 1:30. And I think there'll be pizza provided perhaps. The transfer station last year, August, I think, they had a walkthrough with someone from the DEP. And in the outcome of it, there's a comment, something to this outside unpaved storage areas, we've recently done paving at the transfer station. I'm going to ask the board to consider having that area from the map perspective looked at again and maybe updated, because they will reference that again and they'll say, how come it's not? So we could, I think the outfit that does those for us is over level, aren't they? Anyway, I'll leave that.
Bliss, John Bliss.
Yeah, Bliss, I think Bliss knows it.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't change the book. We just put pavement on existing.
But it's referenced on here that it's unpaved and now it's paved.
Yeah, they're real particular about it, believe me.
Well, I thought if you change the foot like.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. I mean.
hope you move with one of the canisters a little bit,
Yeah.
tell them so.
Okay. And I have another, so let me ask, I've attended several meetings, hopefully most of them being in the last several weeks anyway. Is Leah the town's attorney again?
Yes.
Gone through several different.
Yes.
Okay, back in 2019, she came here and did a session for all of the town employees plus on discrimination in the workplace, etc. It was the best attended thing that I've seen, with 29 people showed up for that. I'm going to, once we get the safety committee functional again to the point where it has scheduled meetings and I will ask you folks to see if she wouldn't be available and agreeable to come back and do another session similar to that one. If that's okay. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Were you mentioning you're looking for safety committee personnel?
Members, yeah. There's the suggestion from the people up in Augusta is to have 6 or 7 members. We could, right now, there's only 3 or 4 that if I said we're having a meeting, we come to the meeting. There are a bunch of new folks that I would like to get onto the committee, and I would like various areas represented. So I've asked the Public Works Director to perhaps give me a name or 2. I think Lynn is going to be a valuable member here, but I'd like to get someone else from this building. But again, there's a lot of new faces. I don't want to pull them off any learning things and take up their time with safety committee meetings right off the bat. But we do need some more members, and I'm going to continue asking folks. And
Well, who's on the committee right now?
Lynn and I and Richard from the transfer station.
Okay. So, Public Works.
I would hope that folks who haven't committed even, if they see there's a meeting, they hear there's a meeting, they come to the meeting. It's as simple as that. Any and all people who work for the town go welcome at the meeting. Yes.
These done during the day.
Up to maybe 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Yeah.
So I would be inclined that it would be town employees. We have to that committee. It's a requirement.
Usually time, I can get myself. Will do it if can't get the other two. Oh, it makes sense to have them.
Right.
Of course,
Yep.
that's right.
All two from the office. We've got public works.
Willie's gonna fill that.
It doesn't have to be an employee, right?
It should be an employee.
Should be.
It should be an employee because it's the town's program. So, yeah,
I'm thinking if you had an outside. Might be. Actually, doing something different in safety. We have an idea. Nah, just. Original.
so we got 1, 2, 3,
Richard is full.
4. Rec director 5, fire chief 6. That's the number you're looking for. That's the number you're looking for, right?
Looking for 5 and 6 anyway.
Yeah. Employees. That sounds good to me.
Is there a select board member on that committee?
Is there?
All 3 of them, just asking.
Yeah,
Oh.
we get asked questions all the time. We have to do a lot of trainings. Yeah. Smart ass. All right, so that sounds like an idea. So there's your names, Bill.
Very good.
Those are Public Works.
It's my attention, just so it gets paid. 8/8/24. There was an incident down at the intersection by Dillon's. Somebody had left
Oh, yeah.
Stone Mountain and
Yeah.
didn't see the stop sign.
Right.
Alvina reached out to the state. And I got an email saying the state won't give any stop signs cited. So.
Yeah.
I looked them up. A solar powered stop sign is anywhere between $1,700 to $2,000. For a light stop sign.
Will the state allow you to do that on there?
They will allow the town to do that, but it's on us. But
This is.
I mean, this is my personal opinion. I've been down there several times.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty light intersection. It's got 2 stop signs. But it's totally up to you guys and what you know.
My opinion of a stop sign like that, the best place for that would be at the end of Mill Street. So many accidents.
I haven't been to Elm Mill Street in a long time to pull anybody out of the puckers over there. It used to be pretty consistent. Yeah, but down here, yeah, it happens more down here.
I was here at a previous meeting and there was something said about a sign where Brian was, he said that this, he had gotten a sign, a previous sign that says, stop ahead. You said where, well, I mean, I don't remember.
I don't remember seeing that on Main Street.
Well, there's a lot, no, I haven't seen stop ahead in that. Signage nowadays is kind of not, it's non-existent because people don't pay attention.
Right. I thought people say bumper cars in Westbrook, they come into one lane and cover. Stop the other car right off the road.
Galvin mentioned Mill Street, I live on Mill Street, you're talking county or
Yeah.
John Conway. Sometimes, they either don't see the stop sign or don't optional, they do, whichever way they do.
People don't pay attention.
On the end of Route 153, where in Eaton or Tamworth, where it comes out onto Route 25. Well before that, there's kind of like rumble kind of strip on the road. So that as you're coming up to the end of 153 to meet that very busy intersection. We're gonna move in the road to kind of jar people to alert. Yeah, that there was a stop sign. Do you need me to do that sound?
It was pretty good. Stand down, not work. The state actually came out and did a study and looked at roundabouts, rumble strips, all of it. And that entire intersection is state road other than Depot Street. That's the only one that the town would have any authority to alter. Everything else is state. So in their study, and even the response to this August 8th incident, is there are higher priority, higher rec intersections in the state of Maine that are gonna take that safety money. This isn't high enough to be on the list. So,
Could we maybe put that in the budget for a stop sign like that? Even for the end of the Mill Street, or come on the budget.
we've had one complaint.
Point, yeah.
I think it's gonna take a little more. than I said.
I'm
Start spending money. So,
Oh,
I got
Thomas asked a question.
Cook Depot. Misty Lane. When you get to that intersection, you stop at the stop sign of Depot. You get out there to see what's coming up. Why? You're out there always. Everyone cuts off the end of Depot going to 160 heading to
Right.
Denmark. That's where the problem is. It's too bad there isn't some way to define the end of Depot so they can't use it as the shortcut to get to 160. That's a, because you get out there to see what's coming and they cut the end of it right off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be like a white stop line out, so you come out to that. And the people know if they're cutting it short then, because they gotta go across that white line.
Close to getting hit there a couple of times.
Know about that.
A lot of it stops. It's a lot of this. I don't think a stop sign would help there. No, there's a way to define these that.
November 13th was the council guy. Which is a Wednesday. I want to send Richard and let him Pat. Pat hasn't had any
Change it all, right?
It's all day on Wednesday, but it has to be on the 13th Wednesday. If Willie won't come in, me or Buddy will cover for Richard. It'd be me,
That's November.
November 13th.
So you're going to have, that's if Willie will come in. Well, Eric's done November 1st. That seasonal ends November 1st.
And then it would be me, or Buddy, or me and Willie, or we cover, get it covered.
I'd suggest closing that. Cause you're getting two. And our seasonal guy's done November 1st. It's all done. So October 3rd, end of this month. We have no more seasonal line item for pay. And your on-call guy. Transfer station payroll for additional help. Would we have enough to pay two people for one day out of that account? That line item,
2 people for one day.
November 13th, which is a Wednesday. Richie and Pat are gonna want to go into training. So that
Oh.
would leave, because Eric's line item is done October 30th.
Right.
That's done. So for him to come in with Willie as the usual on call,
Mhm.
that's two people coming out of that additional help.
Oh, yeah, well, we did have those extra hours that we had talked about, cause,
Yeah, for cleanup.
for cleanup, so. As long as we stay within that limits, I forget how many hours, did I say? It was like 5 days worth of
Right.
people,
So we would be good.
But you really it'd be just one person, right? I mean,
Maybe two.
because Willie. You're gonna call him in anyways,
Mhm.
and so you need one more person to help him.
Yeah, but that's coming out of the same line. It's coming out of the additional help. Because the line item, our seasonal line item ends October 30th. So that position doesn't exist anymore. So we'd have to take it both out of the additional help. So,
I see what you're saying.
if Willie and Eric will do that. We have the funding to pay for that. If not, let's revisit it before we agree to having the works guys down there for the day. We have other things for that.
Convenient, usually this particular class was 4, 1, 2, 3. They break it up into 3 days, 3 different days, but they've got it now in 1 day.
Oh, nice.
So they go one time and get it.
Right. No, I'm all for those guys getting the training. I just want to make sure if we're gonna keep the transfer station open, we need to make sure we're getting the money.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, I got salt delivered the other day. I hope it don't get slippery because I can't get the door back open. When we went to close it, either split us. 2 people. Alcohol head door supposed to meet us Friday, he never met us, so I've got 2, and they called me back. For the door. We got the calcium tank full today. Kyle is coming over sometime this week, couple days or this weekend to put that quarter into the roof.
Okay.
And Charlie's on his way over here, probably the first of the week.
Nice.
Do some heavy.
Now, did you ever get a quote on the half the tennis court area? No. Is that DNR? Okay.
Yeah, Charlie doesn't, I don't think they do much that.
Yeah.
Ceiling. We got all the wings painted, working on the flowers. Yeah, that's about it. Okay.
Rec director.
Speaking of the seal coating out here, I spoke to the son of the guy Hermanson that used to own the business up in Conway.
Tall kid.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I mean, I know who you're talking about. Good
But,
kid. Nice kid.
He's
Kyler. Yep,
yeah,
that's the guy's name.
He's taking doing that now, so he's going to
For seal coating? Oh, nice. I thought they were doing roofs.
a number of ground stuff, so that's one of the things we looked at. We've talked with national attachment and Keel as far as when the soccer finishes up here, getting that work done out there. So I'm getting some estimates. Also got pricing for equipment rental.
For what? What maintenance?
Leveling the field.
I thought we were just gonna rent, I thought we were gonna rent a piece of equipment and do it ourselves.
Right, I got pricing for that.
Okay.
I called around, it was National Attachment was the only place out of Gorham I could get that. Coleman's, Berlin, Ace True Value, Wyndham Rental, Auburn, nobody had what we needed, so. But just for a reference, I'm getting a quote from them to see what they would do it
Okay.
for, or whatever they would do. But.
Donate's a good word.
So we've been working on that. base of paint on the dugouts, benches, dugouts, seating. We've got soccer going on through the end of 26. We flip-flopped our games around, so that week of the 21st, we're playing all away, so we can get out on the field and start getting on after that stuff before the snow and cold weather really gets here.
Yep.
Upcoming events, we've got the pumpkin carving event, not this weekend, the weekend after. That'll be at 4 o'clock, meeting center. Everything can be provided. We'll be giving out prizes for the kids. They take their pumpkins home. And then next month on November 9th, we'll have the veterans dance, dinner and dance. It's just a free community dinner for all veterans. And it'll be by donation for everyone else at the Lions Club. We'll have food, we'll have a band from 7 to 11. The doors open at 6 for anyone that wants to come and eat. Or veterans even want to take home, we'll have takeout stuff too.
Cut the road. Yeah, Vietnam vets.
Besides that, we've got our usual coffee hour on Thursdays at 9:30, yoga 6 o'clock Thursday nights, and the water painting first and third Mondays at 1 o'clock. First of the month, book clubs at 4 o'clock on Fridays. Got it?
Great. Cool. Callista Cross had sent a email to the board. She was to present Brownfield with an award. That will happen the October 22nd meeting. That's when she's available. I was in receipt of an email, veterans repairs budget. Thanks. I look forward to that presentation at the budget committee. These are definitely, Jess has really got a lot invested in this. So, I look forward to that presentation. The website,
We had a demo on a new website the other day. Myself, Elvina, Beth, and Michelle. And the one we've looked at is the one that Freiburg is using. Civics Plus is the name of the company. And we were really impressed by what they had to offer. The website, to get it up and running, they said that would probably take about 4 months or so. And the price for the website was right around $4,000 to have it created, and it would be around $3,700, I think it was, for to maintain it yearly. We looked around at other websites, we weren't as impressed, so this is the company that our computer guy recommended. And they have options on it, like a nice calendar, and everything's integrated, so each department can have their own website. Basically, they can have their access to their own page. And when we put something on the calendar, it goes to the appropriate pages as well, so it's all integrated, and it had a really nice flow. If you want to go look at Freiburg's and check it out, that they had a really nice website, and this one looked really good. Do you have anything else you want to say about that website?
No,
No, so
I'm not. It's just, that's quite a bit more than what we're paying now. So
right, yes,
another one of those things.
Yeah. They would provide 24/7 support, and they give us all training on how to use it once they get it set up. And they said, it takes a few months to get set up, but they'll take all of our information and they set it up from scratch. And they said they'd even go back up to 5 years with information. So if anyone needed to see anything, everything would be on that website for them. It would be easy to navigate and all the information would be there. And we could tie in link to the new map program we're gonna have and then it would work out nice, yeah. But then again, yeah, it's another expense, but that's where we have to go to keep moving forward. Oh, and on the website, we were also going to get, the .gov domain name. And also our emails would also be secure with our names at brownfieldmaine.gov, which adds a extra layer of security to our website.
We could use that. couldn't we?
Yes, yes, so.
Karen?
I was just gonna say that I think it's well worth the investment,
Mm,
because I think it's very hard to navigate our website now, and I know Elvina puts a lot of time into it, it's like a full-time job almost.
mm,
But I think people stop going to the website when they can't find what they need.
mhm,
So I think making it more accessible to people would be a great move forward.
mm. And it would also be ADA compliant. Even they said their standards are high, what Maine, makes you have, their standards are even higher, so we would be doing even better than what the state recommends, so.
Joe?
So, this may sound like a crazy idea, but
Mhm.
is it possible, like, let's say Albina puts a notification up on the website that there's a select board meeting. If, residents give their email address to, like the town, was it possible for that notification to go to anybody who has an email address in there?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because yes, that was one of the options that they had. If you go to Freiberg's website, you can see at the bottom it says sign in. So what you can do is you can subscribe. And what will come up is there'll be a page and you can subscribe to whatever information you want. It'll have, the little ball that you hit and it slides over the little slides. So if you want to get notification of a planning board meeting, you open that up. If you want selectmen's meeting or rec department meeting, and you can subscribe specifically to what you're interested in, and the email would go out to you. Yeah,
It would make it nice for committees, when you have meetings, everybody would know almost instantly. That would
Nice
be.
for the board, we know what's going on.
and you're in control of what emails you're getting. It's not like it's so, you subscribe to something and they're just hammering emails at you. You have control of it. So that was another. There were a lot of options. It was actually kind of overwhelming how much the website had to offer you, and we're taking notes. I'm like, oh my god, that's cool, and so yeah. Check out Freiberg's and see what they got going on.
How much?
The website was right around 4,000,
4,000.
but then we had added the .gov.
Yes,
So
so we account for it.
so we accounted for right around 6,000,
Right.
and it was going to be around 3,700-ish a year to keep that up.
So 6,000 initially,
Yeah,
and then 3,700 a year.
And 6 is on the high number.
yeah.
Yeah.
The gov domain is.
4 to 6. Okay, what are we paying now? Does anybody know? Offhand?
I don't know.
1,000
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
Possibly 1,000, but probably not that much.
Not
Oh,
even
the
that.
annual fee, I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
But the 6,000 isn't the yearly, that's.
No,
initial.
right, but the 3.7 is, yeah,
3,700.
yeah.
And this,
annual. So we're
that
paying one-
6,000 includes our secure emails and our secure
Uh-huh. No, I just wonder what the
domain
difference
and
is.
all that.
We had to
Sure.
change from posting our Zoom meetings on the web, we had to change to a YouTube channel because they wanted to increase our money. And
And the website had like unlimited pages. So the rec department, he could be managing his own page of like what events are coming up, and so every department could have their own. I could have my own thing with tax information on it and Public Works could, if he had some notice, he wanted people to know, like, this road's gonna be closed this day because of maintenance or whatever. He could put that on his section, and it all gets integrated into one thing on the front with the calendar. It was just great. I liked it, yeah.
Sounds like it would eliminate a lot of unnecessary phone calls to the town office.
Right, yeah.
I would hope. Really and truly, I would hope so. And also our website, I might post something on one page. And then have to go back and look and see now, was that posted somewhere else also? And I know
You
of
have
one
to search too.
that is,
Mhm.
pardon me?
I said you have to search too.
Well, because I don't have it memorized,
No, I understand.
yeah.
In the amount of data that you could put on the website, like they'll take all of our annual reports all the way back to 5 years. They digitize them and put them on there, so you have that, you can have the tax bills, everything all of our maps, everything will be right there on the website, so people can browse and find whatever they need.
Anything else? I'll make a motion that we entertain the website
Mhm.
for a maximum of $6,000 from capital reserve buildings and property.
Reserve, sorry.
Capital improvement. Buildings. How's that?
You're saying to entertain it or pass it?
Yeah, it's a motion.
To pass it?
Yes.
Okay. But wait.
He seconded it.
Yeah,
Good.
but you're gonna call a vote, yeah.
I know, but is there?
No, I was just wondering, I thought you said to entertain it, I thought you study it, what do you mean to pass it?
Correct.
Okay,
It's a motion.
yeah, to pass it, all right.
Good. All in favor?
You're gonna vote for that one.
Okay, correspondence for the. Paving contract was signed in 9/17 for the rec center. The ramps and also this ramp out here with platform. As Cliff stated, that'll be coming out next Monday. They'll start, so. Saco River Corridor Commission forwarded the permit approval for 270 Plantation Lane. And it has to do with the high water line. It's a single family residence, no closer than 350 feet from the normal high water line. So that permit was forwarded to the town to be incorporated into his building permit. Planning board, this is the resignation from the planning board. Need to step down from my planning board position. Planning board start time is not compatible with being able to get to their son on time. And that this is official, so. Again, anybody wants to go on the planning board? You want to be on the planning board? Oh, well, then I will make a motion that we appoint Tom Dugas to the planning board to fill the current vacancy from Miss Tremblay's.
We have to vote on that first.
No, it's planning board. All we do is appoint. The planning board takes care of the resignations, not us. Therefore, I have a motion on the table to appoint Tom Dugas to the planning board to fill Kristen Tremblay's position.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, you are.
Sweet. That's what they take care of.
That's great.
Public notice, the Board of Selectmen will meet with Mike Latour of Allied Universal Enhanced Protection Services, 9 a.m. on October 15th, 2024, for an inspection and assessment of the Brownfield Municipal Building and the Brownfield Community Center. just public notice, is for the ADA assessment that we've contracted them to do. We have a communication form, concern, suggestion. Dugas, town budget taxes, raising the building size to 1,000 square feet and a new standard for mobile homes. Well,
My thinking is this. The mill rate is determined by not the taxes, the assessment of the town. That's what determines the mill. You assess all the properties, then you look at the budget. And that's the mill rate. Well, a third of this town, or a good percentage of this town, I mean, just third, but I always say this politely, the homes on them are worth more than the lots they sell. And my point is, not to pick on these people, but to bring up the standard in this town, the standards size house of 950 square feet is not that unreasonable. And one of the other towns I lived in had a standard for mobile homes that said a full foundation of pitched roof and vinyl siding. And then,
can I ask a question about that, Tom? Did they have zoning?
did they have zoning?
Was it where it was zoned?
Specifically for mobile homes?
No, did they have zoning? Did they have a zoning ordinance? Just, they did or they didn't?
Yes, that was the ordinance.
All right, good to go. That just answered my
Oh,
question.
I see. That's what it means. But it's mobile home. All I'm saying is that if we can get a standard in this town that takes and brings up the base, the tax base. Because like I said before, I mean, how much value do you put on a 30-year old mobile home? The insurance companies, the banks don't even want them. And all I'm saying, going forward, raise the standard.
Well, as a taxpayer, so I'm not the chairman. As a taxpayer, the way I see it, anybody around me, they don't like what I live in, mind your business. Doesn't concern you. I'm not walking next door and asking you for a handout. If I can only afford a 40-year-old mobile home, put on a 2-acre lot, and I gotta go out the backyard and I gotta pump my water, I'm not placing a burden on anybody else. Well, how is that a burden on anyone else? It's at least with some type of building that they are living in, a home, regardless, standards, everybody has different standards. So, if I can afford that home, the town is making more tax money because of the value than it is if it's just an open lot and you don't have a population. So, which is better, an empty lot or somebody that's got, regardless of their standard of home, they're still paying more in tax value with that than it being a vacant lot.
You don't see the same benefits from the town. And if you go to share the burden of living, they get the same benefits. Two-thirds of themselves. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, but if you've got money enough to build a $10 million home, that's fine. But what about the people that don't?
I mean, now, I just set a standard. Bring the standard.
You set a standard high enough, they're not gonna be able to
Square
afford it.
foot house on. It's not enough, I have to ask. House wise.
No, I'm not, I'm just, as a taxpayer, I would have a hard time looking anybody in the face and saying, you know what? I think you live in a dump and you should, you need to make it better. If they don't have the money, what do we do? You know what I mean? As a taxpayer, honestly, as a taxpayer, if somebody walked up to me and said, hey, I think you need to leave it something better because my standard's higher than yours. I'm going to look you straight in the face and tell you to beat it because it's not your business. What's in my pocket has no bearing on what's in your pocket. But I get it. And if there's a request for a public a public meeting, and we can obviously get with the planning board because that isn't an ordinance, and then that would be a change. By all means, yeah, let's do that. The taxpayers are the ones that are going to have to make that final decision. So, planning board chair is in here. Joe, could you reach out to Sonia and see if they can get it on the agenda for the planning board to have a discussion to look into the ordinance itself.
Yeah. Name of workshops.
Oh,
I'll bring it up with her, but my thought on it is that even if it comes to the planning board would probably direct whomever, Tom or whomever, to get a petition up. To ask the select board if have an article, something along the lines of should the town modify the land use ordinance or whatever the parameters are that they're talking about. It can certainly be discussed at the planning board, but the planning board really wouldn't take any action on it. 2 people, 10 people, even 100 people could come in complaining about or requesting the same thing, but it's really something that you really have to know how the majority of people in town feel.
makes sense. Okay. Thanks for taking it to the planning.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Ma'am?
So does that mean if you live in a mobile home, they could make you build a house?
No, if the ordinance is enacted, if say there is a change to the ordinance. And it is enacted, say in 2025, June of 2025. Anybody but prior to that, you don't have to change anything. You're all set. So, yes.
I was just gonna say, sometimes it's not the people in those type of dwellings that create increase in the town budget. It's sometimes people who want more because they're used to having more services and everything that increase the town budget. Not so much the people who are just trying to get by, in what they can, there's so many things that sometimes people want that are more demanding than people that live in those kind of facilities, those kind of dwelling units. Yeah, I think most people live because they don't have a choice, and it's not because they don't, they make bad choices. It's just because of the situation, and that's the character of a rural town. I mean, you go through Maine, and that's what you see, and people are getting by, and they're helping each other, and it's community. I mean, and the community is acceptance.
You have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is any progress gonna happen with the bridge on Misty Lane, do you know?
Why we sign it? Just from the reason signed. It's acknowledged and real action. What
It's been talked about.
Previous planning
The
board.
longest time
That can be
Uh-huh.
filed and
it's, with all of the cement trucks and stuff going in and out of there. It's collapsing more and more. You've noticed that if you coming from. Soccer, sure as well, all that.
getting bigger.
And it's.
Take a look at it. Okay, we were in attempts of having an executive session with the town's attorney tomorrow at 3:45. However, that got squashed. So it will happen at 1 p.m. on October 15th. There will be several topics. I don't have the executive posting yet, working with the town's attorney because there's gonna be several things. Blueberry Lane's one of them, payroll, job description. There was something else. Something else, I can't remember, but there's gonna be 3 to 4 topics that will be in that executive session, that will happen October 15th. Of course, it will be posted as it's supposed to. I'm not gonna cover this publicly,
Okay,
not yet.
no,
Alright.
I just don't wanna
No,
lose that.
no, I'm good. I wanna talk to them first, and get Leah's guidance on this, on that as well. Before I don't wanna step off into something we're not on.
Yeah.
Alright, so. Okay. And we could go now. We will, good. Okay, anything from the Terry?
Process for nominating someone for the Spirit of America Award.
Yes. Sure is. Bring it to the select board and we submit the name. We actually vote on that, and submit the name, yes. I don't know.
It is, I don't know what it is.
Can you look it up
but-
tomorrow and provide that to
I'll
us?
send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
And do you send like a description or?
Yep,
Just a brief description.
Yep.
I think.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a long walk around. Yeah.
Can you tell me, this inspection of the 2 buildings, town buildings is coming up?
it's not an inspection, it's an assessment. I want to be clear on that. I know what the paper says. It's an assessment. We are contracted for an ADA assessment, not an inspection. The 2 very different things. And that fella, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he was very distinct in that conversation with me on the phone. It's not an inspection. Don't use the word inspection. Inspection has consequences. Assessment is, hey, we're identifying concerned areas and you can address those, but it doesn't put you into a legal issue. So it is an assessment. Yes, sir.
Should I change the posting? Does it say this?
Yes.
Is it the-
I don't know. There's the posting.
So the inspection,
Posting.
Yeah, change it to assessment. Please.
and that's gonna be meeting at the municipal building,
Here in,
community center. Gonna
Here
be
in-
there, and where we're going first meeting, 9 o'clock.
I would take it the guy's gonna come to the
Come here,
town office
okay.
and then we'll go from
Okay.
there. Cause this building's gotta be assessed as well.
Great,
I will fix that.
Yeah.
And I did originally post this at, it was posted for less than an hour, but 10/9/24
Oh, okay.
at 1:28. But today is not 10/9,
Right,
so I will correct this again.
perfect.
Mr. Chairman, Eric Jorgensen from the Department of Housing said he'll be here on the 22nd to talk to us about affordable housing in the state. He's reaching out to John Egan, who's with Aegis or whatever I forget the name of the organization. They're kind of more like the developers that get involved in affordable housing. So I told him to be here around, that we have a select board meeting, to be here around 6.
Yep. They'll be on the agenda.
what's Genesis?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Genesis and Jordan's.
Can I ask Whit a question? Yeah, when's the sign committee meeting? Have they established one yet?
No.
Okay, I won't go then.
We were gonna try to meet tonight, but now we're. No,
Uh-huh.
it's one of the formal thing.
Right.
No, we have not set a date yet.
All right, thanks.
Anybody else? No. What?
I'm good.
Good. Well, good. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, folks. Cindy, this is those papers. If you wanna sign them, do your thing with that. Hey, there's no need to throw things at people, lady. Yep. What you need? Just me? Okay,
It's
yep.
on the town.
Oh, all right.
Just this book right here?
Hey.
Oh, thanks for coming to the meeting, so. Yeah.
Person, bring your phone.
Thanks for coming to the
Yeah.
meeting. Yeah. Thanks for good.
Yeah.
You can talk, ask Joe right there. He's talking. He's on the, I think they're meeting right now. Planning board meeting right now. Tom, hey, Tom. You're gonna meet right now, right here. We're outside in the hallway. We're outside in the hallway waiting to come in. They're outside in the hallway waiting to come in. Oh, waiting tonight.
Somebody can sign my name to it.
Down here.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope we didn't.
Well, it's serious.
Yeah, I know.
It's me. It's coming.
You need to say that, you know.
So that's a good sign.
Because you need.
Thank you.
He gave me office views. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
I see your name a lot.
That's right.
But that was a good, that's a good point.
Oh, because.
I think you got.
I want to
Oh, yeah.
Sold out of the tickets on Sunday.
When's the draw?
First Monday in November.
Tell you what, 100 of those puppies are mine.
Yes, me and Michelle went to.
Thank you.
All right, so you got the form signed by Cindy, it's filled out. Perfect. Okay, so signature wise, we should be good. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Good, thanks.